This is fun. Let's start
Woo!
with
Woo!
first seed versus the eighth seed. So this
You,
was
the
Utah
Utah
versus
Jazz,
the
Memphis
surprising Memphis Grizzlies, who had to work their way
Grizzlies. Oh,
from the play-in. Oh
play.
my goodness.
Oh, they broke my hearts.
Yeah, the big win. The big. Who did they play in the play-in the first time before the
The
Warriors?
Spurs.
Yeah, they
The
beat the
Spurs.
Spurs, and then they
It was a
beat
close
the
game too.
Warriors. Yeah, and then the big win
Yep, but that
against the
was a
Warriors.
that was a
That
good game.
was
The
tough.
Warriors game.
Okay, so
But
this
I think
series went to 5 games.
oh
Five
yeah,
games
the
only.
surprise win, the surprise game one win.
Yeah,
Right.
but then after game
But
one, it seemed like
yeah,
Utah just the surprise was gone after game one, and Utah just took it.
uh,
The
yeah.
focus of Utah after that was just immense, right? Like, okay,
When Mitchell came back, that changed everything.
yeah.
It was the offense that the Jazz needed for that series.
You
But
you asked
Jamorant
me
was
like, yeah, let's talk about Ja Morant. What can you say about Ja Morant?
he really showed up from the play-in until that playoffs, scoring 47 points, and well, I think the future is bright for Taylor Jenkins and his team.
Yeah, now that I agree. Future is bright. They have a lot of young players, but I'm worried about this one thing. I don't know, Jonas, if you would agree with me. If the Grizzlies decide, well, let's just bring back the same team, because they have a young team, right? And it's easy for them to bring back
Yep, very young.
to just, okay, let's just do this again next season. But are you not like, I don't know, I'm kind of worried about that. I feel like they might plateau in the process. I don't really see anyone on that team who has like, the potential for Ja Morant. Like, after Ja Morant, they have a lot of good young players, but players who, we might say have limited potential as well. I think the injuries of Jaren Jackson Jr. has kind of affected him, right? It seems like, he was really looking good, and then all of a sudden injuries start, catching up with him, and of course it affected his
But
growth, his development. And then Justice Winslow, we thought he would be a big addition to them last year, but it didn't work out. And he would be a free agent this year, and he's most likely gone. So, what do you think? Do you think the
uh,
Grizzlies should just keep rolling with this crew, or probably add some vets?
I think vets would be helpful, but I also think you can still develop the young players around Ja Morant. Well, he's young too, so he can develop
Yeah.
as well. I think Dylan Brooks can he's an emerging two-way player. Kyle Anderson showed me a lot during the play in the playoffs. Uh, I'm not sure how old is Jonas Valanciunas, my fellow namesake, but he was good during the play.
He
Well,
was
the
like,
season.
he's probably 29. Just my estimate,
He's
because
still pretty young.
yeah, because when he came in, he was really young. That was 2011. He
Yeah.
was like 18 or 19 then. So he's most likely like around 28 or 29. But
But I think
this,
I think vets
I,
would help. I think to help them learn more about the game and hone their skills more. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, I'm just a fan. We're just fans watching
Oh
and
yeah.
sharing our observations. But then I just saw that, they struggled when, they had to like over rely on Ja. I don't know if that was just me, but I just felt like they were relying on Ja too much at certain points,
Oh yeah.
right?
I
Like,
think I think you
Ja
can
had
make that
Ja
point.
had
Yeah.
to do so much just to
Yes.
keep them in games. But
At
maybe,
least compete.
I think just remember the Utah Jazz, right? When they got Mike Conley,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they became different. right? So maybe they need that kind of
Yeah,
guy. They need that veteran guy who would support,
yeah, veteran leadership. Yeah,
yeah, give
something
the
like that.
veteran leadership. And then how about the Jazz? You asked me earlier on during the season if I was high on the Jazz. I told you straightforward that I wasn't. Wasn't really sold with what we were doing, but they proved me wrong. They ended up with the number one seed. What can
I
you say about them?
I think I think the next series with the Clippers, we'll talk about it, but I think that series will show a lot what Utah Jazz are really made of. I think they're a, they're a great shooting team. They're a great defensive team. Donovan Mitchell leading them. Rudy Gobert in the paint. So I like their team actually, but I have them winning that series. But we'll see. We'll talk about it more.
Okay. Eto lang, Jonas. Big issue. Is Donovan Mitchell a superstar?
Ooh.
That's always the question, right? Is he really a legit superstar?
It's his fourth year, I think. Third, fourth year.
Yeah,
So,
same year sila ni Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum. I think it's a borderline. I think it's borderline. I think this playoffs, he needs to show that he can lead a team at least to a conference finals appearance. That's my point of view, and he needs to put up big numbers for them. But I think because also Utah Jazz is a team-oriented team around Quinn Snyder's leadership, so we'll see. But I think it's borderline. I think if you can make a comparison, is Dwayne Wade with a jump shot. I think the attack
Yeah,
to
that's
the
what
rim
they're all
is-
saying. And Dwayne Wade
Yeah.
is a big fan of
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he's an owner as well. Like a part
Yeah,
owner of that
owner of the
team.
team. That's how much he likes Mitchell that he's now the one of the owners.
Yeah.
Right? But then this is a tricky question. But then let's say if you're gonna be given a chance to choose between a Mitchell and a Jason Tatum, who would you get?
I think that's a. Yeah, I think you know who I'll pick there.
Yeah, I think that's the point, right? That's my point. It's like
Yeah.
how it's hard to commit. I love Donovan Mitchell a lot, even when he was playing in summer league when he came. He was just different. He brought a lot of energy and all of that. But then there's also a part in me when they look at his stats, he really is scoring a lot, but then doesn't really do a lot of other things, right? And that's not me hating on him. It's just what the numbers show. He's just not doing on a consistent
He's an
basis.
all-star.
Right?
I
He
think-
scores. He scores
yeah.
a lot,
I
but
think
then
he scores. Yeah,
that's it. He scores a lot.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
He rarely
I think
gets double doubles, right? Because he doesn't really do a lot of the other stuff. He can do them, but then he's not yet there right now. And that's the reason why I think
because,
we're hesitant to
no,
call
I
him
think the reason
that.
for I think the reason for that also is the other players around him are doing the other stuff. Gobert
Yeah.
has all the rebounds. Mike Conley is the one dishing and playmaking, so it's not
that's a
really
good
his
point.
forte. Yeah.
That's a
Scoring
good
is
point.
really his bread and butter. Yeah.
And that's his main role on the team, right? So
Yeah.
and on contrary to that notion that because it's such a team-oriented team, but then if you put him, let's say, on a team like the Celtics, that obviously has Jason Tatum, let's say doing everything. Let's say it's Donovan Mitchell playing for the Celtics. Will he still? Will we
Tatum
still?
and
No.
Brown?
Let's say without Tatum. Let's say we replace them. It's Mitchell playing with the Celtics.
Let's replace.
Yeah.
okay.
Can we still regard him as a la Jason Tatum? Because Jason Tatum is hands down. This guy has superstar written all over him, right? But then I think that's the issue with Donovan Mitchell. Like if we put him on that same situation, I don't know if we're gonna look at him the same way, right? Like, are we gonna look at Donovan Mitchell in that same regard if we put him, let's say, on the Celtics? right? And
Yeah. Well, I think he really had a good situation coming in Utah with
Utah,
Gordon Hayward leaving, and I think
they
he really
were
found a home.
rebuilding,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
he got
But
all the
when
opportunities as well.
oh yeah, so yeah, I think you make a good point there, sir, with
So there it
the
is.
star
So that we
comparison.
can just balance it out because we don't want to sound here like we're hating on people. We're not. We're just big basketball fans. And,
Oh
we
yeah,
just
we're just watching from the sidelines.
it's
Yeah.
not like it's not like a lot of people are watching us, right? There are 150 people watching us. So it's not like a lot of people are watching us, but we just love doing this for the love of the game, and that's really what this is about. Let's now proceed to the next series. So that's
Oh my
oh
God.
my goodness,
Oh
the
oh
Lakers and the
no.
Suns. I think if there was
I
a
have
series, well, we probably next to the Clippers and Mavs series. But then, if there was a series that just literally changed its complexion because of an injury, it's the Lakers and Suns series. What do you think?
I have to leave. No, I'm kidding. I
But let's
yeah
admit it,
yeah.
Jonas, when AD was balling, when he had like 30 plus in game 2, in game 3, and he was playing like the Anthony Davis that, we all know, it seemed like the series would be over in 5.
I
Right?
think for me that uh no I yeah Anthony Davis was great. He I think he showed why he is considered probably arguably a top 5 player in the game. But I think the turning point of the series
When he got
was
injured.
when LeBron was no. Well, I think before that, I think the turning point for me watching
Okay.
that series was when LeBron was kind of toying with Crowder, and the bench was also riding with him, like they were making
the
moves and
Andre,
stuff.
doing the Andre
Uh,
Drummond.
yeah, I think when watching the game 4, actually when AD was still there, Suns came out firing, even took a lead during halftime
Yeah, but
before
it was a
AD
close
got
game though. Remember when AD
oh yeah, but
went for that layup that
layup. Oh
that
yeah,
moments before the disaster. They were like what? The
it
game was
changed
like
everything.
51-50, I think was the score when he
Oh
went
yeah,
up for that
that was the
layup,
score.
something like that, right? So when he went down, you knew the Lakers were in trouble. like,
And
you,
when
like you knew they were in trouble, right?
the injury was said to be a groin injury, it usually takes like 2 to
Yeah.
3 weeks,
Yeah, it's not
and
something you come back from, right? I mean, LeBron even
that
was out for what, 2 months or six
oh yeah,
weeks. Remember, he got injured during his
first
first year
stint,
with the
first stint,
yeah
yeah,
when during the
but
Christmas game, right? And he got injured
yeah,
and he was out
I
for
think
6 weeks.
uh, the Lakers staff should be criticized for letting him play Game 6. I think
Yeah,
he
but
wasn't really ready.
I think when it comes to that, I think AD just wanted to show because everyone was
Oh
going
yeah,
at him. It's tough playing
oh,
in LA, especially with the Lakers because everyone is watching you, right? So
watching him, yeah.
yeah, I mean Charles Barkley was calling him street clothes, Anthony street clothes Davis because he's always in street clothes. That's tough, right? If that you're
Yeah,
one of the top 5 players in basketball
five
as long as you're healthy, and then people when you just won a championship the previous season, and then all of a sudden just because of a quick turnaround and then injuries getting to them, which was expected, by the way. We knew that
oh yeah,
when it was
we knew
announced
that.
that when damn it, the season will start December 22, and the season finished October 5. That was tough for them, right? Like, come on, man. We knew that was coming. So when AD got injured, let's face it, it was over. We
It was
didn't.
over. Yeah.
We knew that it was over. LeBron wasn't himself as well. We could see that.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't explode. Right? The ankle was
But I
obviously bothering him as well.
but I want to give credit to the Suns
The
as well.
Suns, yeah.
Devin Booker really showed me a lot. Even DeAndre Ayton, he was really good in that
Yeah,
series.
good point. DeAndre Ayton I feel bad for that guy because no one really cares about the bigs anymore that much. Even if Jokic might
Oh,
win the MVP, even if a lot of people are showing love to Joel Embiid, but that this is a in today's time, especially when Steph emerged, everyone loves the guard play, right? The
the
half
guard play.
court,
Yeah.
the logo shots, and all of that. But Aiton, man, if you were like monitoring the stats, the guy was a walking double double. And then he was like
I
getting
watched.
what 2 to 3 blocks a game as well. Major
I
presence inside. Correct?
Yeah, he was
Correct me if I'm
yes, he
wrong, huh?
was really good. Oh yeah, no, he
Yeah.
was really good. Yeah. I watched the game earlier. He was like that during the Lakers series. He
Yeah.
really showed up. He's really
And
showing up.
it just everyone is talking about Chris Paul, D Book. Yeah, fine. We give them the credit because they really they are basically the reason why the Suns are in the second round. But then you also
Yeah,
cannot take away the fact that DeAndre Ayton played really well. I really thought Mikal Bridges struggled a little bit against the Lakers. He was a really good player
oh,
for them during the season. So I
oh,
think he
another
is
player
a
for
great
I
X
think another
factor, right?
player, Cameron Payne as well. That dude
Yes,
can ball.
sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's not like he lost how, or he forgot how to play basketball. It just so happened he didn't really get the
That happened.
opportunities.
Yeah.
He had
Yes.
a bad
Yes.
stint with the Bulls because the team didn't really like what he brought to the table. But then here he is, he got his chance, and he was able to really step up, especially during the time that Chris Paul was injured,
Was injured. Yeah.
right? So that was
It's
that
the
was big.
yeah.
Good point. Cameron Payne. And then also the shooters of the Suns, the Cam Johnsons of the
Woof.
world, the Jay Crowders, right?
Crowder
I mean,
turned.
they
Crowder
made
turned it around.
they
Yeah.
made big shots after big shots
Make
after
big
big
shots.
shots as well. So that's it.
They
And
just
then
demoralized them.